Oh, this thing blew in fire. Oh yeah, there's a button.
All that's left is a window to my soul. Come and get it.
Post Vapes UK back again, and today we're going to be doing a review on the iJust2 kit from eLeaf. Battery is outstanding. The tanks, the sub-ohm tank. You'll get my thoughts a little bit in a minute when we dive down close. But this battery is amazing. So other than that, guys, let's dive down close and we'll have a look. So guys, here we are down close with the iJust2 kit box. eLeaf there on that side. Pretty straightforward. I'm sure most of you guys now have seen the box. You get the drip tip, the tube, one EC head which is at 0.3 ohm, iJust2 atomizer standard base, iJust2 power supply, USB cable, the airflow control ring which we'll speak about, and user manual. So let's go ahead and have a look. I haven't cleaned the tank out, guys. But we will go over it. So this is your standard tube. Sorry about the camera, guys. You've got your iJust2 logo there. Your eLeaf. And your premium quality. Again there, pretty much straightforward. You've got another eLeaf symbol there, another one there. I don't know why they needed to stick eLeaf on it like 3 times, but you have got your micro USB port there for your charging, and this does have a pass-through capability as well, which is pretty cool. We will speak about how to turn it on and that. Where we've actually no, we can do it now. 5 clicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the little light there will flash, and then it is on. It will flash to say there's no atomizer, and obviously when you have an atomizer at the correct ohm, I believe it goes down to a 0.1 ohms. It will just stay on a full light to say it's firing, and then click it 5 times to turn it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it flashes again to turn it off, and it's off. Next, we'll have a look at this in a sec. We'll just see what else comes in this box. You've got your USB cable there, your user manual, and this weird airflow control. I used the iJust2 tank for a little while, but I did have a few problems with leakage, and the only way I did find to stop that leakage was to use the airflow ring. And what I usually did was I used this to close off the airflow when I wasn't using it, because at first I didn't bother using it, and I left it on the desk overnight, and I woke up and I had almost half a tank leak out of the airflow. And what I found with the airflow control ring, with shutting off the airflow, I didn't get that problem. You have got a removable 510 drip tip. if you want to go ahead and use your own, but I don't mind the one that comes with it. It's quite wide, but then it goes down to a shallower hole there, smaller hole. But otherwise it's pretty straightforward. Let me just grab some juice and we'll go through the filling it up. So I've got my juice now, guys. So I believe this is, I can't remember now, 4ml? No, 5.5ml. So a lot of e-liquid that holds. So pretty good. Let's go ahead. This is bottom fill as well, and you have got e-leaf as well on there. iJust2 on the back, which is pretty okay. You just unscrew from the bottom. And there's your 0.3 coil that you get with your kit. The only thing is, I think they should have put a spare coil in there, because you only get the one coil, which is a bit of a shame. But that does just screw in to your base, like most of the standard sub-ohm tanks, like the sub-tank mini, and obviously do pre-wick your brand new coil. So do anywhere between 10, maybe 20 drops of e-liquid in there, just to prime it before you use it. And then what you've got with this is, if you can see, you've got your center there. So you've got your center there that your coil goes into, and then around the outside you have got, if you can see that, two little holes there. Try and get this. There's a little slot there on that one side, and then if we spin it round, there's another one on that side, which is where you're going to fill up your juice. So we'll go ahead. Going to be using some of my cinnamon roll from the Nobactists. So all you want to do is just get it in there as good as you can, just so it goes down into that center hole. I'm not going to fill this all the way up. I really, to be honest, I'm not that much in love with this tank. It's nice, but obviously the leaking issues I had, and compared to the sub-tank mini, it's not that good. So there's that. And all you go do is screw your base back on, and like I said, I don't use this anymore without this airflow ring, because what I like to do is use the airflow ring to actually, that's your airflow open, I actually use it to shut off my airflow. So one other thing I would like to say about this is you can use a normal RDA on this battery. This battery is outstanding. It is a 2600 mAh battery, and obviously it fires down to a 0.1, so you can run your standard RDAs and things on here, which is awesome, which is what I have been doing, is running production RDA on here, which I'll show you in a couple of minutes. So let's go back up top. We'll have a little toot and a chat. We're back up top. It's all set up again now. I usually have this airflow ring actually set to about half this is how I'll show you how it produces to how I used it when I used it with the tank. So about halfway open on the air hole. And that is a lot of vapor reduction. Like I said, this is a 0.3 ohm coil, so it's not your standard 0.5 that you usually get with your sub-ohm tanks. So it does produce a lot of vapor, and this battery can handle it, and it does last for a very long time. And the flavour isn't too bad, to be honest. The flavour is pretty good in this tank. I just obviously them leaking issues that I had with it. I've really not used this tank as much as I probably would have if I didn't have them leaking issues. I don't mind that obviously you can shut it off when you're not using it, but the only colour I got with mine, I don't know if you get different colours, but is a luminous green airflow ring, which to me looks a bit odd. Sorry about my nose, guys. I'm suffering with hay fever today, so I'm a bit blocked. I would have preferred maybe a grey or a black airflow control ring. It just stands out a bit weird on there. I don't really like it that much. So let's have a toot of it wide open. I don't mind it like that, guys. I just think it's a bit too much. Obviously having them 4 air holes wide open, I prefer to have it a little bit shut off. So you're then sort of running it as like if it just had 2 of them wide airflows open, having the 4 cut down to about half. So that's how I like it. I think they could have done with just having 2 airflows on either side. Maybe even where you've got your little juice holes there for your juice to get into your coil. Maybe if they just had 2 air holes on either side, that would have been fine. Like I say, just having that leaking issue that I had, I just won't use this tank without having that airflow control ring on there, and I don't like the look of it. And for me, I need it on there because I need to shut that airflow down. So other than that, we will talk about the other thing I spoke about when we were down close. Is this battery 2600 mAh does fire down to a 0.1, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. It does tell you in the manual, but I believe it fires down to a 0.1. Let's double check it. I'm sure you guys probably already know. 0.15 is the lowest this battery will let you go down to. It has all the protection, so it won't let you fire. And like I said, it will do what it does when you haven't got an atomizer on. It will flash to say that it's won't let it fire. But I've got the production RDA running at about 0.3, I believe it is. Fires it no problem. I actually quite like the look of that, and this is how I've been using it, just because I'm not that keen on the tank. Again, my opinion, I would prefer to use the sub tank, but this battery is amazing for what it is. And the fact that you can buy the battery on its own, I would probably do that, to be honest. buy a couple of these batteries, have them charged. You can use it as a pass through if you wish. Have a couple of these charged up, and have them with you or whatever, take them out with you. And if you're ever in need of a single battery, you've got it there, which is pretty cool. So yeah, the only other issue I had with this, guys, this is just me because I don't really use. The last thing I used like this was my Vemo when I first quit smoking. It took me a while. I've been using mech mods and mech tubes for so long now. When I kept picking up this tube, I kept grabbing it like this, having it in the claw, and then sitting there trying to work out why it's not working. And I have to remember that it's a regulating and the button's here, which took a little while to get used to. Took me a couple of days because I kept picking it up, trying to fire it from the bottom, just where I've been so used to mech mods. But this battery is brilliant. I think if I didn't have the leaking issues that I had with the tank would be really good. But just them leaking issues, I could probably survive without the airflow ring if it didn't have them leaking issues. But I will not now use this just because I had the leaking. I won't use this without that on there. The flavour's good. You can see the vapour reduction. This is the first 0.3 coil, pre-built coil that I've actually used in a sub-ohm tank, and it is good. And the wide bore drip tip. And it does produce, and that battery does last quite a long time actually. I can use this for a whole day before I have to charge it, which is really good. Not sure what sort of voltage it's using. I don't think it is a continuous 4.2 volts, but firing a 0.3, I'm guessing it is, because that vapor reduction, when the battery starts to die, doesn't cut off that much. It cuts off a little bit to the last, probably say 10-20 minutes of battery life. But the minute you plug it in, start charging it for a couple of minutes, and then you can vape on it and use the pass through, you get the full power of this battery. So guys, I am just waffling on now, so I'm gonna end this video. If you want to check out this iJust2 in the UK, I will find the first shop that comes up that's selling it. In the UK, I will link it in the description below, guys, so go check it out. Love the battery. Tank's okay, just I've had leaking issues. So again, it's all your opinion. For a starter kit, if you want to get into the sub-ohming, I would definitely go ahead and get this. Or just get the battery on its own and maybe grab a different sub-ohm tank that you like. But you will know that this battery will run it as long as it's no lower than 0.15. So other than that, guys, Polish Vapes UK out. And remember, guys, stay safe and keep on vaping.